Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church, and we are located in Oregon City, Oregon, and we're part of the ELCA. And welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text with time to an item from the Dollar Tree. I am looking at, for this Sunday, it's the 13th Sunday after Pentecost, and I'm looking at all of the lessons intertwined because I think they all have this idea that God is giving us a direction. God is moving us in a particular way. Proverbs has this, this sounds like someone giving directions on a map. Turn in here, go there. In the gospel lesson, Jesus is giving these directions if you eat the bread of life, and etc. And so this idea that God gives us directions and things to do out of love, that God loves us, and that's the reason why God is in relationship with us, is because we are created and loved beings and people of God. And so the items I'm using from the Dollar Tree is anything that has directions. It could be a game. It could be a map. It could be multiple things. But this idea of that there's directions. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. We do these, and we do these because when we follow the directions for a game, it helps us play the game how it was created. And when we follow the directions of God, as we love one another, as we forgive one another, as we are in communion with one another, as we take body and blood, bread and wine of Jesus, when we feast on the bread of heaven, when we hear the words of wisdom that says to all of us, those who would normally not even be spoken to, the foolish and the silly, turn in here. When we hear these words, our lives become more full. And it's like when we play the game, where it's like when you play the game these ways, it helps you play the game in a way that the Creator intended. And so I'm using a list of directions. And now, it doesn't mean we don't mess up. It doesn't mean that we don't stumble. It doesn't mean that we don't fail. But even in all of that, especially in all of that, our God reminds us that we are created and we are loved by God. And that is the reason why we have these directions. And these are reasons that we're not following these directions in order for God to love us. God loves us and has laid out those directions for us. It's all out of love for us, and then we follow those directions to live life to the fullest and as God intended and created us to do. And especially when we do so in community. The thing about playing a game, and now there are solitaire games, and that works great, and someone has created the rules for solitaire and things like that. But when you play a game in community, it really starts to take form and take substance. I'm working on it. I'm getting there. But that's the springboard. I'm using that as the springboard, the list and the instructions. So hope this can be some thinking for your own children's sermon, a springboard as you put it together. All right, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a fantastic week.